Is it gonna? It's not gonna overwrite my stream, right? Okay. Okay. Surprise. All right. Let me call you back on the computer, okay? Hello again. I just lost everything, and we're just gonna get Amanda back here.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And I should be able to reconnect with everything. I know that right now you don't see anything right now, but just a minute, and I will see if I can.
Thank you for your patience. We're working on it.
I need some patience. All right. Okay, so now let me see if.
Okay, so I think it's the same stream. Looks like.
Is what?
Good.
Oh, good.
I think it connected to. It looks like anyway.
Okay, that's good. Let me.
Yeah, no, Astro. I think we lost everything. We lost Skype. Mark lost OBS, YouTube streaming, the camera, everything.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay.
Okay, so now I gotta just get my
everybody.
Get my password in here. Let's see if it all comes back. Okay, it's all back. And I think we are going to be picking up right where we left off.
Could you share your screen with me when you're done?
I might want to, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, let's see. This one? No. This one. Yes. And there we go. There you are.
Wonderful.
Okay. Aside from that little glitch, folks, thank you for joining us. We thank you for your support. And I'm going to try and just make sure we have stuff here. Okay, so where we left off was with, in the viewer, we were actually just about to talk about this particular cluster. And this cluster is NGC 2158. A really cool cluster because of the nature of this thing. It's actually, it's actually quite far away. It's actually a lot farther than it's actually, let's see, let me make sure I got it right. It's actually 17,000 light years away. Okay, compared to M35 over here, which we just talked about. M35 is not 17,000 light years away. M35 is a lot closer to us, and I think that's kind of a interesting measurement, right? Now, if we talk about the two clusters, they're in the same view, and M35 is only 3,000 light years away compared to 2158 at 17,000. Look at the difference. You can see that the stars show up a lot brighter here because they're closer to us, and so they look brighter. And this much farther away, the light from these clusters falls off at the rate of the distance away from us squared. Okay, 1 over the distance squared. So what that says is, if you go twice as far away, the light is 4 times fainter. 2 squared is 4. If you go 4 times farther away, it's 16 times fainter. So, you look at the difference between this cluster this close and this cluster that far away, and you find out how much fainter this cluster is. Okay, 17,000 to 3,000. Okay, if we just do that and figure it out, okay, clearly, 17,000 over 3,000 gives us an idea. It's roughly say 6 or 5 or so, and times further, and so it's literally going to be fainter by 20 plus times, and that's really kind of an interesting interesting factoid that we can use to bring to bear. Just neat stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And
That is cool.
yeah, and I'm not sure that I think my chat got disconnected, but that's okay. I actually don't have much longer than I can go anyway, so I was actually debating, just stopping.
I know, but an abrupt stream is kind of gross.
Yeah, I know.
I hope it linked. I hope it linked.
Well, if it didn't, we'll have two of the same
we'll
name,
find
won't
out.
we?
But actually, before Alan joined us, we had a few more questions sneaking in, because I was about to say we just got through the questions and keep them coming.
It didn't link.
But then I got distracted. I didn't get to say keep them coming, but they kept coming anyway. So I do have a few questions before we go, if I can find it now, because...
And they did not link. There's another stream that started up.
Oh.
It was more than 3 minutes. That's okay. I don't mind.
Okay, we have two questions, and they were kind of follow-up to previous questions.
Alrighty.
Well, one isn't. Dee wanted to know, where the heck is the universe expanding to, and will it run out of room? Interesting way of looking at it.
That is, actually. Well, the truth is, we don't know what it's expanding into, because we can't see out there. We do know that it's probably over 93 billion light years in diameter, and we can only see out 13.8, or sorry, actually, we can only see out technically like 13.2 billion light years, and the universe is 13.8 billion years old. And you got to keep in mind that with the expansion rates, for the light to get here, that we see 13.2 or so billion light years out, it was traveling already to get out that far, and that light reached us, so it's at least double 13.2 billion years in age, and then there's the additional expansion that we didn't get to be seeing and part of, and that there's more to it than that. The whole overall result is that the universe is about 93 billion light years in diameter overall. Really incredible. So it's just one of these things where your mind gets blown on a daily basis when you explore astronomy, and when we talk about objects like this. So I really think that we're quite literally on the verge of some additional really neat discoveries. We've got the James Webb Telescope going up, and we're going to actually have a massive amount of data that we're going to see for the first time. And I think that's going to be very cool for us,
Very cool.
Yeah.
And we had a follow-up from Cryptic.
Okay.
He wants to know, is there any bigger voids than booties?
I actually don't know.
I guess for vastness, for emptiness,
I
maybe?
think the Booty's Void is one of the biggest. It's actually, like I said, it's
Do you know of any bigger?
No, I think it's the biggest one, actually.
Is it?
I think so. That we can see. And it's actually quite a, like I said, it's over 300 million light years in size, diameter-wise, but the volume it takes up is just an immense volume, So that's a huge amount. I'm going to just cluster hop to another little cluster here.
Oh, because I was going to ask you to hop to another little something, another little puppus.
Okay.
So I could ask a question.
You want to hop to a little puppus?
Yeah. M46.
Oh,
Puppus.
Okay, M46 and puppus. Yeah, that's actually a beautiful little cluster too.
Because I have a question about it.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that the dome is facing that way as well. So.
Oh.
I'll check it out in a minute. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, are we going somewhere first? Because if so, I'll save the question.
Yeah, I just when I had that crash, we actually didn't. We lost our connection. So I'm trying to connect now. So 1 minute, I think.
Oh, we were just looking at a picture.
No, this is actually live. Okay, here we go. So now let me just get us to this location. I think we moved there. All right, I'm just gonna take a picture here, make sure I got this.
Yeah.
I think we're there. I actually didn't watch the screen, so I didn't see us move. But no worries. I'm not sure we actually did, but we'll see in a minute. When this comes up, I'll tell you in a second if we moved.
Okay.
Yes, we did. Okay, this is a little cluster called IC2157, and the thing is, off to this direction is 2158, and then further off that way is M35. It's kind of all in a little line, so it's kind of cool. And this cluster is 6,700 light years away. All right. The 2158 was 17,000 and 3,000 for the M35 cluster. So we have all these clusters of stars. There were former locations where there were nebulae that stars formed within. These were locations, maybe not where these are located now, but they were formed in the star-forming regions and migrated out together. Now, I know what you're looking for me to do. You want me to look in Puppis now. And what is it? Which one you want me to look for? This request item? M40 what? 6?
Doesn't one of the Gemini clusters have a planetary nebula in it?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that it does. I think we.
Okay, but apparently we have to go to, what was it, M46? Puppis?
Puppis is the name of a constellation. So, yeah, I mean, if we go to M46, let's make sure that we can actually get there with the dome.
M46, yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's M46, that's what you're talking about. M46 is, of course, Messier 46, also known as NGC 2437. It's a cluster that is 4,900 light years away. And it has a little planetary nebula, which is known as NGC 2438. Well, let's go see if we can see that without having to move the dome. And I don't think we're going to get away with that. I think I'm going to have to run out and move the dome. But, hey, I could be wrong, but I'm not sure I am. Let's go to this anyway and see. Let's go into our remote mode and watch the stars go by, shall we? Here we go.
And cross your fingers that we have enough room.
Yes, and we'll see if we're going.
Woo!
There we're going, and we're seeing streaks of light every now and then. And those are good because that means stars.
Yeah, but vastly brighter stars than the majority.
Yeah. Okay.
What's so special about those ones, what do you think?
Which ones? The ones we were just looking at?
No, when we were going by that fast. Like, why didn't we just see streaks of white everywhere? It was only here and there.
Oh, well, look at it.
I'm guessing it's because they're so much brighter. What kind of stars would they be, do you think?
Oh, well, I'm not sure.
O-stars?
I'm not sure which stars we went by. But they're probably stars that are closer to us and brighter. Let's do 20 seconds at 16,000 here just to see. Yeah, they may be closer, but maybe just brighter stars too. I'm not sure that we're gonna get the nebula here without a problem with the dome in the way, but we'll check it out, and I'll move it if I have to. So here we go. Let's see what we got, and we'll get it right about now. Hey, look at that. That's beautiful. We actually got it.
Nice.
Yeah, and notice the color. Okay, this is, we're looking at this particular cluster, M46, and we actually see in it that it has this beautiful planetary nebula in it. And this planetary nebula is known as NGC 2438. All right. And this is a cluster in Puppis. Now, when I look at this with a telescope as a kid, we never really caught that nebula too well. All right. I do want to just go into the edit mode for a moment and see if we can just give ourselves a little bit of an enhancement to that.
Ooh.
Yeah, hang on.
Better already.
Yeah, it's looking better.
I like them darker.
Well, yeah.
I mean, when you were changing Orion to the kind of faded out pastels, that was pretty too. It gives it a different way of looking at it, but the darker, richer colors are definitely the ones I like.
Yeah, well, this is more important for us, I think. So here we have this view in Puppis. We have this beautiful cluster, and we can see, as we zoom in on this, we can see that we're looking at this beautiful planetary nebula sitting in there. It's perfectly round, and it's a shell of oxygen 3, a shell of oxygen, that is to say, with a small rim of hydrogen alpha as well. So there's hydrogen and oxygen in this planetary nebula, like most planetary nebula. So it's really one of these beautiful clusters that shows you that some of the stars in them, when they die, there's transitional states. Transitional states that we see, including seeing a dying star, and it shows us that the cluster is probably older, made of older stars, when one of them is dying, like this. So I think that's.
Ray just wants to know how far away this is. Did you mention that yet?
Yeah, it's okay. It's 4,900 light years away.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, 4,900 light years. Yep.
Can you take a picture and get it really, really big like you did the other ones?
Yeah, I mean, I can actually take a number of shots.
Or zoom in on it, or.
Oh, we can do this. We can
make it big, pretty.
Yeah, we can take some pictures like that. Let's say if I can say this. I can say we can continue to take this picture 20 seconds at 16,000.
20 seems to be a good number. Someone commented on that in chat.
Yeah, 20 seconds seems to work. Actually, it's just because it's something that people can handle. None of the photos in SkyTour LiveStream are longer than 30 seconds, and that's by design. I don't want to make people wait 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes to see, and even 1 minute to see a photograph, that may or may not be good. So I do this for this express purpose of making sure that you guys get to see this quickly, which is, I think, important.
Okay. It is.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so now we have this, and we can go back and take another one, and I'll take several shots, and then I'll stack them together and produce a finished one for you guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm gonna take a stack of photos, and then I'll take a bunch of photos and I'll stack them, and then I'll be able to show you the guys the final result of the stack. Not tonight, but after I process them.
If you took a picture for like an hour and a satellite passed by, would you even see anything on the screen? Because you know how we saw that streak? It was pretty solid. Yeah. And sometimes we've seen them dotted, and that's only for like 20, 30 seconds tops. What would we see if it was like an hour-long picture and it just flew by? Anything? Or still a streak, or
it would just be a streak across the whole picture.
Still a streak, regardless.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
I don't know.
If it's passing through, we see a little bit of its light as it goes through. If it's a 10-second exposure, we'll see a 10 seconds worth of streak. If it's an hour, we'll see as much streak as it could put across the frame of the image.
Yeah, but okay, let's say it takes 2 seconds to fly across the screen. If we take a 10-second picture or we take an hour-long picture, it's still only on the screen for 2 seconds. So the 10-second picture, we'd see like a pretty thick line, but on an hour-long picture, would we even notice the line? Would it not be so faint it would
No,
barely register? No?
no, because it would still show for the same amount of time on the frame. If it took 2 seconds to go across the frame, it'd be a 2-second streak, regardless of whether it was a 3-second photo or a 10-second photo or an hour-long photo. It would just be a 2-second streak. And I think there's
but there would be so much more information for so much longer in the hour-long picture.
But it's only in that one spot for that little fraction of a second. And then
I
it's
know,
gone.
and that's what I'm thinking. Like, wouldn't it be more faded, like almost unnoticeable? I don't know. Maybe I'm phrasing it wrong, or
I know
maybe I'm just not getting your answer.
I kind of think I know where you're going, and I don't think so. I think that, in fact, I know not. I mean, it wouldn't get lost because the darkness of space wouldn't tend to overwhelm it. Okay, it's much brighter than the darkness of space. I'm taking a bunch of photos, by the way, of this guy, so you just so I can,
like I said,
put them together for you later.
Maybe my brain isn't working, because I'm sure you're explaining it that makes sense to everyone else but me.
Oh, that's okay.
I just thought there were. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought this. I just thought there would be some kind of difference based on how long the picture is being taken for.
Yeah. And just to answer Daryl's question, M46 was discovered by Charles Messier back in and added to his catalog back in 1771. So this cluster was seen a long time ago, and it was classified as very bright, very rich, very large. And it's in northern Puppis, which is a constellation, obviously, that's in the farther south of us. It's I'm keeping taking pictures as we go, and it really has about 500 stars, which is really pretty. The brightest one is about magnitude 8.7. Keep in mind that your eye can only see to about magnitude 4 or 5. So, that's a lot fainter. And the distance that this sits across, it actually implies, when we look at this here, this distance here, the diameter is right here. That's about 30 light years here. Just about 30 light years, all right, at this distance. So that's kind of neat. You can, knowing how it is, how far it is, you can actually figure out its actual size in the sky. And the age of it, the stars that are in it are the brightest stars are A0 type stars, and the planetary nebula is an oddity because the cluster, right, and this is good that we have the image now. This cluster of stars is actually aged at about 300 million years, which this planetary nebula, from what we were talking about before, I was alluding to the fact that, maybe this cluster is probably old because we're seeing a planetary nebula. But see, the fact is the cluster is actually 300 million years old. So you say, well, wait a minute, how could this be an old cluster then? It's not, okay? It's actually a very young cluster, and that this star with the planetary nebula is just in the same direction and farther or nearer to us than the cluster, and not actually a member of the cluster. So, as with so many things in astronomy, we're seeing a case where this particular object that we're seeing looks like it's in this cluster, but it's not. The cluster is either passing behind it or in front of it, and it's not part of it at all. And it's kind of cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And how would we know that? Well, we can measure the radial velocity, that is the velocity of the cluster, and then look at the star and figure out, whether it's coming to us, where it's coming to us. And it looks like, this particular planetary nebula is heading away from us at like 77 kilometers per second. And the cluster is actually moving at 41.4 kilometers per second. So this obviously is something separate from this, which is kind of cool. And that was from a radial velocity study where we studied the motion of the stars and figured out an average value. So it's interesting to see how we figure these things out. And of course, planetary nebulae indicate a late state of evolution for a star, and you don't expect to see that in a young cluster like this. So that's kind of where we actually sit with this. And this will be the last object for tonight, guys. I want to thank you for coming. I will put this together, and I will kind of stack a few of these so we can see this little nebula in a little more detail. Then we can actually, when we zoom in on it like this, we'll actually see it a little better. And I think that'll be kind of cool. All right?
I gotta say, I personally like them better when they're stacked. Like I said, it just gives them that richer, deeper color. The raw images, I find they're so faded out, and well, I know that's what you guys like, astronomers like, but
no, actually we don't. We like
no,
we don't like faded images. Okay,
I thought that gave you the ability to deduce what things were made out of.
Yeah, we can do that, but if we're producing something for to look really gorgeous, well then we're gonna sit back and we're gonna do this kind of thing, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna modify it like this, and we're gonna actually add depth of color to these objects like this. There's no reason we're not gonna do that. But the bottom line is, we stack things so we can see things more clearly, and that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do here for this.
Yeah.
And you can see the little star in the middle of this nebula right there.
Yeah.
And that's a white dwarf. Yeah, it's a white dwarf in there that you're looking at. So it's pretty cool. Anyway,
it's very cool.
Guys, thank you so much for coming along for the ride tonight. Sorry about the little hiccup there where we lost the internet. But I'll be with you again on the next clear night, and we'll do this all again. So I really hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank you, Amanda, for coming along for the ride and helping me out with this.
Of course.
And thank you so much for grabbing all the questions. And I would like to just pass along that, pass along the link to SkyTour LiveStream to all your friends or some people that in your chats and Facebook. And, tell them to come along for the ride with us. It'll be a lot of fun. We got a lot of things planned for the future, and we're hoping to bring you along with us. So, from me, and I'm sure from Amanda, I want to wish you guys a good night. And I am going to go shut down the observatory, and I'm going to go to bed. So I will see you guys on the other side. And
good night, all.
Thank you for the beautiful night. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.